All right, so I am not Martina. I am Connor. Martina's over there. I know this is the vibe coding, but really we're going to talk about some AI tools. She's going to talk about Loveable. I'm going to give you guys some prompts with Startup Weekend. How many of you have your value proposition defined at this point? And the brights are light, so how are we doing? This is going to be interactive, by the way, the whole time, me and Martina. So how do we feel about value propositions at this point? Do you know what they are? Do you have yours in mind for your business you're creating? What do we got, guys? What do we got?
Some wiggly hands. So some unsures and maybes.
Okay. So a value prop, let me get out of the way of the screen. So there are a lot of different ways online you can see exactly defining a value proposition. They're all right. My version is this sentence right here, being able to answer, we help blank customers do problem or job by what the solution is, unlike alternatives. And basically what this formula helps you create is answering 4 very important questions for creating a business. Who are you serving? So who are your customers? What is the problem that you are solving, which I'm sure you guys talked a lot about that last night. What is the actual solution of your business? What is the solution to the problem that you're solving? And then why is it different than something that exists today or that doesn't, but it's an alternative? I use the word alternative very clearly because it's not about competition, because an alternative can be doing nothing. I could go and get a cup of coffee at Starbucks, but I can also just not drink coffee in the morning. And that is, as Starbucks, you are competing with that just as much as you're competing with Dunkin' Donuts. So alternative is super important, and it's not about competitors. It's about anyone that is doing something similar or nothing. So with this, though, the whole point is about AI. And so I have developed an AI coach to kind of go with this. And so this is the worksheet, which you guys have access to this, by the way, on the resources channel on Slack. Thank you, Alexa. So if I just kind of scroll over here, what this activity helps you do is go through each of these. So real quick, it takes you step 1, identify your customer. Who are your customers? These are very important questions to answer when you're building your business. And all of this will be important for your pitch tomorrow. So being able to answer all these are important. What I have done is created a prompt for ChatGPT or any AI tool you want to use, but this prompt helps you answer those questions. Does this make sense thus far? Any questions from you guys? How do we feel about value propositions? Better than we did 5 minutes ago, right? You guys are so focused. So focused. Okay, then I go to ChatGPT and I just plug it in. I use ChatGPT. You can use Gemini. You can use Claude. Whatever you want to use, and I just copy and paste it. I didn't even put in my business that I was creating. I would suggest you do that, but I did not. And what you come up with is guidance for helping you answer all these questions. So the first one is like, all right, chat, step 1, customer, help me figure it out. Identify one customer segment only. Do not give me small business, entrepreneurs, everyone, because those are not actual customer segments. You have to be very clear. So this takes you through all of those points and then helps you build your sentence, your value proposition after playing with the prompt for, 5-10 minutes. You'll probably get a good value proposition out of it. And then you can figure out, do I like it? Do I hate it? What do I need to change? Because remember, ChatGPT is going to spit something out at you. Doesn't mean it's gospel. You are the gospel. Change it. If it doesn't sound right exactly, tweak a few words. That's okay. This just helps guide that process and helps you not get stuck in figuring out those key questions when starting a business, which is, who are you solving the problem for? What is the problem that you're solving? What's your solution? And what are the alternatives? Okay.
So I'll be walking around with this microphone. It's for the audience. Do we have any volunteers, any teams that are brave enough to share what you think the value proposition is?
I
or
love that.
The targeted audience that you have in mind? Any volunteers? Or I'll just randomly cold call on people.
Cold calls. Hey, entrepreneurship is about sales. Cold calls. Who's up? And it doesn't have to be in the format there at the bottom. It can just be what you think your value prop is. Because once again, value prop is in many different shapes and forms. This is just one version of it. Let's hear it.
My name is Carlos Cortez. Thank you for your time today. Value proposition, I'm actually kind of here to ask for help on that one.
Sure.
We have the kind of a sentence idea of what it is. And I'll just repeat what it is off this document.
Yep.
It's basically we're building a system for teaching and measuring AI augmented critical thinking in team-based entrepreneurship education. So we're really targeting entrepreneurship programs at universities. I was thinking even programs like this.
No,
but-
this is good. So what I would do, Martina, can you press just to get it back up? It might need my face, but
Yes, and first of all, you're in a safe place.
very
It's
safe
okay.
place. Very safe place. So what I would say to you is it is totally normal and okay to have multiple visions. That's good. We're all entrepreneurs. We all have big visions. We have big ideas. That's fine. Lean into that. And I think where you can really find common ground is figure out what is the problem that you're solving. Throw the rest of the value prop stuff out and just focus on what is the problem that you're trying to solve. And then there's going to be a lot of different ways in which you want to tackle that, but forget about that for now. Focus on what is the problem that we're solving. Let's agree as a team, what is the problem that we're solving? Then you can move into, okay, so we have 4 different avenues of which we solve that problem. Let's now evaluate those and make a decision from that. And then you can probably get into the customer at that point and say, okay, are we selling to students? Are we selling to the universities? Are we selling to community members putting events like this on? Are we selling to entrepreneurship support organizations? If that is the idea that you kind of continue to run with. How does that, do we feel good about that?
Thank you. I completely agree, and I think that's where the problem kind of lies.
Is the solution.
Exactly. So and I don't want to take too much time, but I was hoping to, especially yesterday, just brainstorming what the business idea was going to be. There was a lot of maybe miscommunication back and forth. It was hard to really put something on the wall that everyone could see. So it was to build this a control panel where you can compare ideas, and it's a collaborative, almost like Google Docs kind of thing, where everyone can see it. And now you're not only just going around saying ideas, it's really, you see all the metrics of the ideas proposed, and then that eliminates kind of the time wasted on just bouncing ideas around. My team's kind of pivoted more into the ed tech side of things,
Okay.
but it's still, you know.
Okay. Yeah, well, I know that I am your, spoiler alert, I am your mentor for the second part.
Oh, perfect.
Like that. So I think we can talk more about that at that point.
100%.
And that's in 2 hours. So who knows where you're at in 2 hours from
We'll
now
see.
as
Yeah,
well.
it's all a mystery, but I appreciate it either
Yes,
way.
of course.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to make sure Martina has time, so I'm going to wrap up very quickly. This was the value proposition prompt that I put in. There's also, because once you get to here and you feel solid with your value proposition, then I say value propositions turn into assumptions at that point. And then you are a scientist and you have to take that assumption, that hypothesis of yours, and go prove it and validate it with people. And that then turns into customer discovery. And there is a customer discovery activity and customer discovery coach as well, a AI prompt that you guys can use to help you figure out what questions to ask, but also like, who do you even ask? Like, who is that customer that you should be going to and asking to validate this business of yours. So this is, we kind of demoed the value prop. You can check out the customer discovery. I will be here for the next couple hours. I'm happy to answer any questions on all of those. Martina and Loveable, the time is yours. Let me get this out of your way.
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Martina. I'm Miss ChatGPT 101. So my background is actually all tech startups. If you've heard of Chegg.com, I'm one of the founding team members of that company. And then my most recent startup that I was involved with was acquired by Life360. And so I helped Life360 through their recent merge and then journey to IPO. From there, I decided to step into a bigger challenge of solopreneurship in the era of AI. And what I found is people are really looking to learn all the different pieces and opportunities and programs out there that are AI powered, one of which is vibe coding. Who in this room is already vibe coding? Yay for you. I'm curious, like, what are some of the tools that you guys are using? Now, first question is, who's using Loveable? Yay. Okay, and what are some of the other tools? Claude Code, Replit, Cursor. What is it? Anti-gravity. I'm not familiar with that one. Okay, what do you guys think of it? It's kind of cool, right? For everybody that raised their hand as leveraging vibe coding, are you a CS student? Would you consider yourself to have a developer background? Yes or no? So all yeses, I see some no's. Yeah, so I studied CS, but I am not a developer. I wrapped up my bachelor's in 2003 and probably have not looked back at code since then. It was a long time ago. But I understand conceptually what it is, and the better you can articulate something, I mean, vibe coding can really be powerful. If your teams are having different visions, you should lean into vibe coding and actually build it. So if you're gonna put the thoughts down in a Google Doc, like go for that, but then take those notes and actually vibe code it out and get more of a show me experience of it, and it may sway folks. Something that's in your mind translate different when you have it on paper, and then even if something looks good on paper, once you have it set up for you visually, sometimes it's a miss. But with vibe coding, you're able to go over and over and over. Okay, so I have some slides, and they're really motivational statements. So what I want you guys to do is actually take your phone out and grab this QR code, because this is where some of the links are. If you haven't used Loveable before, I actually encourage you to try it out today, even if you try it out for 15 minutes. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get paid by Loveable at all, but they are really fantastic in the front end experience. They're really special in how they're able to put something that looks market ready together in about 90 seconds. So I know everybody has their phones out and their laptops out, so I'm actually gonna clip out of this presentation and pull up to where you should have landed. Loveable will give you 5 free credits, so when you log onto their site, you're able to start building something right away. So even if you're sitting here or you wanna save those credits from when you're sitting with your team, you can put in as simple of a statement as you want, and it will produce something. I have a few prompts in here to get going. So starting with super basic, a minor level up. I vibe coded this, yes, with Loveable. And there's a few different prompts here depending how many details you want to layer into it. It will pull together something I consider to be beautiful. So since you guys all have this, I'm just going to scroll down it pretty quickly. If you get stuck or you need to reset, here's a prompt you can use. And then also, I encourage you guys to post whatever you build during this hackathon. Okay, I'm actually going to flip into Loveable. They just recently launched their own academy. So there's a ton of resources here. You can visually put together your website, your content plan. So they've now launched a newer version of putting together social media items. And they, leveraging the two of those could really help showcase whatever you're building during this hackathon. You can really put together a whole package.
Just to jump in here, if you raise your hand if you are a student, raise your hand. So FYI, Loveable has a 50% off promo for everyone who is a student. So check that out on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they will give you free credits every day to use. And then if you did decide to upgrade at some point, their lowest tier, I think, is $25 and then half off for students. So it brings you to $12.50 if you're building. Okay, so I'm just going to pull together we're going to do a live one. Maybe since you spoke about your ed tech idea, calling on you.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Go ahead and give us, actually, why don't you come on up here? I'm going to have you type in one sentence.
Oh, God. Okay.
And you'll get to take advantage of my credits. So in the hot seat, here's your one sentence. So no other guidance other than go ahead and just type in anything, just whatever is in your head, like, oh, I think this is what I'm supposed to build. Just type in a couple sentences. We won't even look at you. So no pressure. The pressure is off. It's okay. Whatever it is, we're going live with this. So one of the things with vibe coding also is if you're not sure how to frame something, first of all, as we'll see, whatever you type in is going to produce something, okay? What I like to do is workshop it a bit with ChatGPT, and then I will ask ChatGPT for an optimal prompt for Loveable to help me build what I'm trying to build. I'll also ask ChatGPT to say, please ask me any clarifying questions, like what's missing from this business idea that I should give you more information on before we do our first build. Okay, so control panel designed to compare strategic ideas aimed to reduce time wasted on decision making and prevent wasted resources on faulty ideas. Do you want to add in maybe like this is for students or professionals, or this is aimed for early startup teams? How convenient. Hackathon groups. Pressure's on. University entrepreneurship programs. Perfect. And then what do you want the vibe of it to be? Like formal, more for institutions, more for Gen Z. There's no wrong answer. Minimal, tech forward vibe. And then the arrow. And is that smiley face? You could have left the smiley face. It's fine. Okay, so you're welcome to hang out up here. You can go sit back down if you want. It's going to take about 90 seconds to a minute to pull something together. The bigger of an ask that you make, it can take a little longer, but it's going to pull together something. So for people who are visual and want to see what the full experience is going to look like, this is a really great way to do so, right? You can remix the idea over and over before you start going down the path of, okay, this is where I need to tie in my database, or this is where I want to tie in another integration. Loveable can handle that. I think the more technical it gets, you definitely want to explore some of the other tools that are out there. Loveable does allow you to transfer your code to GitHub, and you can kind of move it to wherever you want. So just keep that in mind.
How many people here are UX designers, product managers, product designers? Okay, there might be people on your team. Oh, we got one. Perfect. Your team is very lucky to have you because you can be very articulate about the prompts you put into Loveable. And even if you are not a program manager or designer, you can still ask ChatGPT or Claude, hey, as a program manager, what are the kind of visual aids that I should be incorporating into my prompt? Thanks.
While this is still building, do you guys have any thoughts you want to share about your own experience with vibe coding, or tips that you would share with others? Or you just want to keep it all to yourself? Yes. Fiona's getting her steps in.
It's Ria. Mention your name and then your background.
Hi, I'm Ria. I'm part of CSW staff. So great to have you here today. I'm a data scientist. I come from a technical background. So something I'm curious about when you're vibe coding, one thing I've faced is scope creep. So the agent tends to come up with its own ideas and goes into a whole different tangent. So how do you manage that?
Scope creep can be very fun and addicting with vibe coding. But I think it is coming back to making sure you have your own set product requirement details, right? Like, what are you building? And for me, when I'm workshopping in ChatGPT and it starts to layer in some other components, I just tell it to remove it, right? And you are the ones who have to keep the constraints where you want them. And then especially as you're building out MVPs, just keep it very simple. I think for anybody that's building an MVP on a product, keep it simple, maybe one customer type, one offer, create a wait list. So it's a very simple test to see if there's an appetite for what you're building. And if there is, then continue to go down deeper in that path. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Idea control panel's ready already.
So here's the idea control panel. I'm gonna move it to be full screen for you, but you can definitely click around with it because it's yours. Okay, so here's what he built based off of that prompt. So it gives conceptually an idea of what the control panel could look like. It has a dashboard for ideas, average score, top score. It's layering in different programs, AI-powered onboarding, enterprise dashboard. It's a few different tabs.
It's cool. It's not exact. I don't know if it's exactly what I thought it'd be, or if it's viable. But
that's fine.
I think every step forward is a step. So I'll take it.
So I think if you're starting out, this was your on-the-fly quick prompt into the tool, right? And it was pretty low in detail,
100%.
right? So now you're like, okay, I have this. This isn't really what I'm looking for. So now you can go back to that prompt, right? And you can start to articulate just a little bit more clearly. When I'm thinking about this program that I'm going to offer to universities, I want them to be able to see this, this, and this. I would imagine that students are entering in this information or this information or this information. If you have a visual of a dashboard from another website that you drew on a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. You can attach that as a attachment into Loveable and say like, this is what I'm looking for from a design perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will start to, you'll shape it together.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for letting us
Of course, yeah.
explore your your on the fly idea.
Thank you, guys.
So I'll share one more example. So a friend of mine and I were just chatting about vibe coding, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to start doing it. I have this idea to have a comparable to Angie's List. So he's in the home improvement world, and he's like, Angie's List just doesn't work. Contractors get flooded with leads, but then the people listing on Angie's List get overwhelmed, and it's just kind of a messy experience. He's like, I'd like to make that more like hyper local, where I'm matching with some of the local small businesses to be the contractors. I would also like to have the customer be able to upload a current situation picture. Maybe this is what my bathroom looks like, and then their inspiration. So then when the contractors are looking at it, they have a better idea. Like, number one, is this work that I do, is this project the right fit for me? And then be able to give maybe more, just a better quote. So it dropped it. This is built off of one prompt. And I had guided Loveable to literally compare to Angie's List. When I was workshopping with ChatGPT, like a 5-minute workshop with ChatGPT, I just said, hey, I'm looking to build a better version of Angie's List. But right at that statement, ChatGPT already had some reference as to like who are the clients, what am I doing, etc. So that was the baseline. And then I described, but I think it would be better if A, B, C. And so it built this for me. And I thought it was pretty great. He was actually really happy with it too, and asked me how much it would cost to transfer this over to him to continue building. But it has the tabs. It took into consideration everything I suggested, the before and after photos, being able to browse the contractors, separate tab for contractors. So it can build the framework for full products if you give it enough context. So keep that in mind. All of these buttons are dead. There's no database tied to it, but it was enough for this person to say like, yes, that's my vision. And now I'll take that and take it to the next step and then start like the deeper build and then the enhancements from there. So I'm just going to stop there. Again, if you look at the slides and the resources, it's a bunch of like, you can do it, go build vibe codings for everyone, rah, rah, rah. So we won't go to those. But do you guys have any questions? Any other questions or how you might incorporate this in your builds?
Like that.
It's my star.
Hogging the mic. I guess just
attendee.
moving forward with, so you build this and so I'm not technical. I study econ, so I don't see too much of software programming, but just like back end stuff for all that, I guess, is that where you kind of really pull in someone a little bit more versed in whether it's the architecture of the website and such, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes, I do think vibe coding and some of these tools are in a place where their help articles are really helpful. They make it really easy to create your first database.
Mhm.
Now, if you have a friend or a partner or colleague that's more comfortable with that, they're going to pick that up even easier.
For sure.
Now, I do think as a business scales, I'm not sure Loveable is where you want to continue to host it. I think that's kind of an open question in this space.
Yeah.
It gets you far along, but if you're building out a product that's scaling at the national level, then you're going to want to bring in your
100%.
technical expert and have everything tested and make sure you have the right support and security layers and all of that.
Of course. Yeah.
But
yeah, I think
just so you know, for demo purposes, if you wanted to see like I want a form, I want to test it out myself, you can absolutely have Loveable do that for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Like tokens and such. How expensive does that run? And thank you for the 50% shout out. Even like for demo, like say for tomorrow or something,
I
it's not
think
anything. Mhm.
if you workshop your prompt like within ChatGPT, you
Mm.
could absolutely have something to show based on the free 5 credits.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
if you have a team, right?
Yeah, it goes even
One
further.
version, two version, 3 version, 4 version, and then maybe you do decide to upgrade. The
Mhm.
subscriptions are month by month, so there's no lock in there either. But
Okay.
lean into whatever tool like ChatGPT to really finesse the prompt
Yeah.
before you drop it in,
Mm-hmm.
and that will save you some of the credits.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Between different vibe coding tools, is Lovable, when you say credits, is that 5 prompts? Because some of them just go by tokens, I think.
Yes. So depending on how complex your prompt is, that's how many credits is going to use. But you can absolutely pull up like a full build and only use like 1 credit. If you're looking for a basic landing page, you're going to still be able to get a few different rounds of it. And then they refresh the 5 credits on a daily basis.
As an example, so Martina forced me to build my website on Loveable, by the way. But as an example, let's say real quick, I want to change the color from the teal to purple. And I just like, that's the prompt is very one sentence. That's going to be like 0.2 of your 5 credits, just to give you a scale of what it would look like. So little tweaks like that are like point or fractional of 1 credit.
I think I saw, did you have your hand up? Yes.
It's like a simple question actually. Like, I know you're saying to practice the prompts with ChatGPT before going to Lovable, but do you recommend prompt engineering courses that would pretty much make you think in that direction before going to Lovable, or would you say no to courses at all? Like,
Ooh, that's a tricky one. There is a skill in prompt engineering. There is a very specific skill there. Yes. Do you need to have expert level prompt engineering skills to build using vibe coding? No. Right? So it just depends, like as you're building, like are you getting what you need? The most important thing to keep in mind is the clearer you're able to articulate it, the better the build is going to be. If you're building a SaaS product or if you're building your landing page, this is where something like ChatGPT could be helpful in saying, I'm thinking about building this. What are all of the components that I should be considering? And then you have a framework of information that you need to be able to define. And then from there, you'll see like, okay, this was everything or this is not. I mean, non-technical folks are learning how to build not just a simple products, but complex ones and making real money out there by just trying and looking at the tutorials.
and Lovable is not to scale, correct? It's just like you can build like an MVP product, but you cannot truly scale it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's the line I'm also trying to figure out. I don't think there's a clear definition of, X amount of users or X amount of database, like that there's the line. But definitely in my circles, like there is a line where there is a suggested upgrade to another tool. But there are businesses that are fully operating off of a tool like Loveable.
And I want to add on to that, Bobby. So, tactically speaking, when I worked on a hackathon back in October, what we did first was what Connor actually mentioned before. So, using that value proposition doc, plug and play, figure out what your value proposition is, and then you put it through ChatGPT or Claude to get that prompt that is Lovable friendly. And then that's how you can be more strategic about the credits that you use, the tokens that you use.
I guess the last thing to say is you can also use this to help whip up a presentation. So this is where I think it could be really cohesive. If you do build your MVP in something like this, then you can have your matching social media campaign and then your matching presentation. So it really does kind of like amplify the work that you're doing and allow you to see the full picture very, very quickly. And if it's not what you had in mind, then like rework it.
So, Alexa, yeah, we're going to wrap this session up really soon. Your mentors are here, so want to take it?
Yes. Thank you both so much for this excellent workshop. Let's everyone give them a round of applause.
Thank you for having us.